Hello guys, and welcome to a new video today by me, Vulcan. In this one I wanted to talk about Slitherine next, and some of the announcements that I think are worth checking out. A big thanks of course to Slitherine for sponsoring this video. Before we begin, I just wanted to point your attention towards the massive Slitherine publisher sale that is on right now. They have some big sales on their best franchises, so I'll make sure to leave a link in the description where you can check that all out for yourself. Broken Arrow has had its next DLC fully revealed. It will be a paid DLC that introduces a new Russian specialization, the Russian Guard, which will include 8 infantry squads, 31 ground and air units, 2 new maps, which are hopefully available to everyone, 2 scenarios, and more. We have new screenshots of the Tupolev 95, a big bomber with cruise capability, the Yak 130, a cast plane, the Pantsir S1, which can also be fitted with the Tor, which is of course anti-air. Then we have the Object 787 Gadyuka, which looks like AA but is actually the predecessor to the Terminator for use in urban warfare. And finally, Spetsnaz Alpha, equipped with silenced MGs and Ash-12s. What do you think it's going to cost? Let me know in the comments. There is loads more information on the Steam page, so I'll leave a link to that in the description, and I'm sure I'll make another video about it all in more detail soon. Veil of Ashes found itself a publisher in Slitherine. This wasn't so much a surprise for me, but an awesome addition to the Slitherine catalogue. For those of you unfamiliar, Veil of Ashes is a real-time strategy game that has picked up a lot of traction due to their shorts showing their recent developments. It has a steampunk World War I aesthetic that, from the trailers we've seen so far, seems to focus on tank combat, but it looks like it will also include infantry and some air transport units too. Battles will be playable in single player and multiplayer up to 4v4, where you fight for strategic points across diverse maps. I love the look of the graphics, and the terrain will all be destructible. This game is definitely worth keeping an eye on. Nightmare Frontier is a bit of a surprise hit for me and recently released into 1.0. I was lucky enough to get early access and play some on and off stream. Nightmare Frontier is a turn-based tactical extraction looter that throws players into an alternate version of the early 1900s, where humanity is fighting to survive against terrifying creatures known as the Dreadweavers. These monsters are physical manifestations of people's deepest fears, so if you fear spiders, you fight spiders. As the leader of a group of scavengers, your goal is to explore dangerous locations, gather valuable resources, and then make it out alive. Every expedition is a risk versus reward decision. You can push deeper into the unknown for better loot, but the longer you stay, the greater the danger becomes. With strategic turn-based combat, meaningful character progression, weapon upgrades, and a fear system that constantly raises the stakes, Nightmare Frontier blends tactical gameplay with survival horror to create a tense experience where every choice could mean the difference between escaping with riches or losing your entire team. It's definitely worth checking out. Now this is a game I've been keeping an eye on, Radio Commander Pacific 41. It puts you in a role of a battlefield commander during the Pacific campaign, relying entirely on radio reports, maps, and limited intelligence to make life or death decisions. Your troops describe what they see over the radio, but information is often delayed, incomplete, or inaccurate, forcing you to make tactical decisions without ever seeing the battlefield for yourself. As the campaign progresses, you'll command infantry, marines, tanks, aircraft, and even naval support across missions inspired by real Pacific battles. If it's anything like Radio Commander Vietnam 64, Radio Commander Pacific 41 will deliver a tense and immersive command simulation that challenges players to think like a real wartime commander rather than a traditional RTS player. Now they actually went a step further and completely out of the blue, and to my pleasant surprise, announced Radio Commander Battle of Britain 40. Radio Commander Battle of Britain 40 puts you in command during one of World War II's most pivotal air campaigns. Instead of flying the aircraft yourself, you coordinate the RAF squadrons. You make decisions with limited information as you defend Britain from incoming Luftwaffe attacks. This kind of game is super exciting for me as a Brit enthusiastic about World War II. Finally, Terminator Dark Fate Defiance Evolution. The next major expansion for one of my favourite RTS games of the last few years. Evolution takes the war north into the frozen wilderness of Canada, where Legion is developing an even deadlier generation of the Terminators. The DLC introduces a brand new story campaign, new units for both the Resistance and Legion, and one of the biggest gameplay additions yet, terrifying melee-focused Rev 6.5 Terminators that can tear through infantry and even threaten vehicles in close combat. Seeing that in the trailer was absolutely awesome. You'll also get access to augmented human soldiers, new Canadian military vehicles like the Leopard C2 Mexis and LAV-AT, plus new technologies that should shake up the gameplay in some really interesting ways. If you've already enjoyed Terminator Dark Fate Defiance, this looks like a great next chapter, and I can't wait to get my hands on it and give it a go. I just wanted a quick honourable mention to Blood Bowl. I haven't played a game of the franchise for years, but Slitherine managed to pick up the IP, and I'm excited to see where they're going to take the franchise. And if you're interested yourself, definitely check out the Slitherine YouTube channel for more information. They had a developer on the couch and they talked about all sorts of really cool stuff. But did you watch Slitherine next? Let me know in the comments what your favourite announcements were. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.